Quinnipiac ends its season under 500 for the first time in 22 years. The loss also means Quinnipiac will be missing out on championship weekend for the first time since 2012, closing its door on the season. With overnight rainstorms and now snow showering down on Hamden leading up to the game, and now even afterwards, it left the field completely cold, windy, and muddy. But how did the weather affect the game? Both sides had differing viewpoints. Just 7 months ago, Quinnipiac men's ice hockey assistant captain Kevin McKernan left Cornell's Liner rink disappointed. A 16-18-4 record to show for his senior campaign. He said seasons like that should never happen to Quinnipiac's program. It was a long 4.5-hour drive from Hamden, Connecticut to Burlington, Vermont for the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team, but a step in the right direction it was for the Bobcats on Friday night. A 1-1 tie against the Catamounts of Vermont, and the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team also traveled to Vermont this weekend. The Bobcats tied the Catamounts 1-1 on Friday night and 3-3 on Saturday. In Game 2, Quinnipiac freshman Courtney Vorster scored her first career goal with only 32 seconds left in the third period. The Bobcats are now 0-4-2 this year and start conference play next Friday. The way Pecknold describes his seasons is splitting it up into thirds. So the first season is done for the Bobcats. They'll have the second season when they get back from winter break, and then the third season is the playoffs. So if I'm ranking the first season, I give them an A+. The way things ended last year with a 16-18-2 record in a self-proclaimed embarrassing season for the Bobcats, they came back rolling to start this year. They're only 2 wins away from tying last year's total at 14-3. They're a top 10 team in the country. They go out and beat the #1 team in the nation last night. Boston entered Game 4 last night trying to keep the Bats hot. Jackie Bradley Jr. had a grand slam in Game 3, and here he is in Game 4. Look at that, a 2-run blast, putting Boston up 6-5 in the 6th inning. We'll jump to the bottom of the 9th. Craig Kimbrell on the mound for the Red Sox, facing Alex Bregman with the bases loaded. Sox up 8-6. Bregman with a line shot to left field, and Andrew Benintendi makes the play of his life. If that ball gets by him, the Astros are winning it. He makes a gutsy diving play. You'll be seeing this one for years to come. The Red Sox win at 8-6. They take a 3-1 series lead with a chance to clinch it tonight in Game 5 at 8:09 p.m. in Houston. The Quinnipiac women's rugby team has won 3 straight national championships. The back-to-back-to-back champs avenged their loss to Dartmouth with a 29-20 win at home on Sunday.
We started out of the gate wanting to win instead of getting off the bus and assuming that we were going to win. And that's something that we suffered from in the first time that we matched up against them. And it was actually one of those things where losing taught us more than winning ever could, because that was our motivation today. There's a big picture of the scoreboard of losing to Dartmouth from the very, second game of the season in our locker room. And we knew the only way to get back to them and actually have some kind of recourse was to see them in the playoffs, and it just ended up being in the championship. So it was poetic, but it was nice.
Senior Alona Marr was awarded MVP honors after scoring 5 tries and 2 assists on the weekend.
I think it's the best decision I've made to be able to transfer onto a team with such great players. I sometimes forget that I've only been here 3 years.
While the Bobcats have dominated the National Intercollegiate Rugby Association over recent years, it hasn't been as easy as Quinnipiac makes it look.
There isn't a level of an assumption that we were going to get the three-peat again this year. Nothing is going to get handed to you. You have to work every single day, every single training, and take it game by game. Just because you won the first national championship, just because you won the second, that does not mean that the third is going to get handed to you.
All of us came to the school because we were ready to do something great with this sport. To see how rugby's going to grow and to know that we had a little part in that is everything to me.
Quinnipiac's senior class graduates with an exclamation mark. Alona Marr, Flora Poole, Taylor Schutzler and company are confident in the program's future as well as the state of women's college rugby. Reporting from the Quinnipiac Rugby Pitch, Kyle Levasseur, Q30 Sports. What do you get when the Quinnipiac Bobcats face the Princeton Tigers?
Great game of hockey there. Great game of hockey.
Great hockey and 2 wins for Quinnipiac. The Bobcats shut out the Tigers 3-0 at home on Friday night. Saturday night, a 6-3 win at Princeton. Quinnipiac head coach Rand Pecknold describes his team's play across the 2 games as resilient.
Princeton's a really good team, well coached. They compete hard. They got some of the best players in the country, so it was was a good battle for us. Like, happy to get the 2 wins and move on.
Quinnipiac captain Chase Prisky leads all NCAA defensemen in goals this year with 11. 3 of them came this weekend thanks to an important key.
At the end of the day, when we were relentless and we just went in and we established a forecheck and we just ran down their D, that's when we were really successful, and you could see us come in waves at times. And I think that's the most important key for us winning this weekend, was to wear down their D.
Prisky found the score sheet and was vital for Quinnipiac's penalty kill. The Bobcats shut down the 3rd best power play in the country 8 of 9 times this weekend. Quinnipiac improves to 13-2 this season after the 2 wins. Next up, a home-and-home matchup against 12-1 UMass. Reporting from Hobie Baker Rink, I'm Kyle Levasseur, Q30 Sports. Odine Tufto, Vermont's worst nightmare.
You know, something about Vermont, I don't know what it is, but, you know, like I said, great team win. We battled all night. We got the win.
Tied at 2 apiece, Tufto scored the game-winning goal for Quinnipiac with just 15.2 seconds left in regulation.
Honestly, it was kind of a lucky play. You know, their D bobbled the puck, and I beat them to it, and I turned around and, you know, kind of blind shot it. But, you know, good things happen when you work hard all game.
The sophomore is now 2 for 2 in his career against Vermont. 2 games, 2 game-winning goals. Tufto's goal came 2 minutes after Chase Prisky knotted the game off a slap shot with an extra attacker on. Quinnipiac head coach Rand Pecknold says Prisky continues to improve as a leader.
You know, he's just, he's an A++ character kid. He always does the right thing when no one's watching him. Like, he's really an impressive individual. He leads by example. He's not a rah-rah leader, but he's a great captain. I think he got a good experience last year, and I've seen him take a jump this year with his leadership. He's even better this year.
Despite trailing 2-1 late in the 3rd period, the Bobcats clawed their way back to start their season 1-0.
I just think it showed how relentless our team was. You know, we're obviously young, but, you know, played with a lot of adversity, and, you know, we never backed down, and it was a really good team win. I mean, to have that type of game happen to you on the first night of the season and you come out with a win, it's pretty awesome.
Quinnipiac isn't done facing Hockey East opponents just yet. It has 2 home games next week, Tuesday night against UConn and Friday night against Boston College. Reporting at the Gutterson Fieldhouse, I'm Kyle Levasseur, Q30 Sports.